Hi, love. Welcome to The Earth and I, a love sharing platform where the space is created to take a third eye perspective at our life situations and create the space for new perceptions to be born and anything that will aid us in our upleveling and life exploration. My name is Shayna, and I create content with the intention of uplifting tones, deep realizations, and I like to create it so that it can be taken and alchemized in any way that best serves you. And with that being said, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, leave any feedback about what really spoke to you in this video, any other videos that you may view, and connect with me on other platforms that I share on. I would love to hear from you, and I'm so grateful that you tuned into this space and that you're taking the time to explore yourself deeper, to get to know yourself deeper, and have that loving connection to your higher self. Congratulations on that, and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today's video is on the concept of upleveling. And a big part of upleveling is hitting a wall of resistance. And the underlying theme is this idea that our problem is the solution. The blockage is the elevator. The barrier is the path. So many times in life, when we face a problem, that can be a problem is just simply a resistance in life's flow, a complication in ease. And what is so beautiful about this is the truth is that these are divine nudges. These are communication with the universe. When we're choosing to better our lives, the universe has to communicate with us somehow and just kind of send that confirmation. Are you sure this is what you want to do? So it sends us this density of energy, this blockage. And usually that blockage contains energy that we need to clear, patterns that we need to break. And when we hit that wall, the universe basically says, what are you going to do? How are you going to maneuver this? And for the most part, we're given two options. And one option is to react, and that is emotional driven patterns, memorized thought behaviors that do not create the space for change, renewal, and ascension. This is a memorized pattern that we become immune to living through because it's perceived as easy, it's perceived as just how we are. But what the universe wants, what we want, is to respond. And when you respond, you hit the wall, you pull back, and you kind of open up. You create that presence, that space to fully see what's going on right now. A great way to do this is to look at it from your higher self, to kind of be completely unidentified with it. And in that way, you're not controlled by your emotions. You still experience your emotions, but you're not controlled by them. You have higher thoughts about the issue. You're not just focused on what's right in front of you. You're seeing the whole picture, how this is actually aiding you in ascension, how you can grow from this, and what you need to do to move forward most consciously. So once you choose to respond, what happens is that the way that you navigate this problem, the barrier that you face in your life, it's telling of where your life is going to go after that point. If you react, you have a memorized response that's very emotionally driven, you are going to enter into the same memorized vibrations of normalcy in your life. But no one really wants that. We just don't create the space all the time to realize that we're trapping ourselves into those patterns. And a problem, an issue, a barrier is the perfect place to break those patterns. Why is because, as I said earlier, it's kind of a signal to the universe that no matter what I face, I'm ready to be better. I'm ready to be more expansive. I'm ready to be grateful for every experience that I have. And I like to see them as almost like a glass ceiling in the ascension journey. As you're ascending, you're getting deeper in flow, more connected, and then all of a sudden it's like you face stagnancy. And a lot of times it can be easy to just be mopey about problems. I think that that is just human condition. We just want to complain, feel sorry for ourselves, but you can do that for a moment, but you have to be willing to step back and see truth, see fullness, allow your whole self to be experiencing the problem, not just your human body, human emotions, human mind. And it's such a beautiful thing because you realize you're always growing, you're always learning. Whenever we can face barriers, just ask, what am I learning here? And we always know. That's what really tripped me out is if you're just willing to ask yourself, what am I learning here? What lesson is being presented to me? It's clear as day. It's just we put that blockage up because it's almost like we feel like we have to suffer. We feel like we have to feel this excruciating, uncontrollable pain in order to be alive. And I think that manifests different for everybody, but that's why being conscious and being there for yourself through your problems is so immensely important and sacred. We learn to love ourselves in a whole new way. We learn to let love flow in a whole new way. It's so easy to just associate love with good and joy and these elevated high emotions, but love is ever present. Love takes form in countless ways. And when we're able to really give ourselves deep love, acceptance, and presence in the hardest of times, inevitably you're going to ascend. Your vibration is going to not know what to do with itself because it's like, wow, like we can love ourselves even when this is happening. We can be grateful even when this is happening. Communicating with your higher self is just glorious. God, the divine, having that, creating that space. I've been saying that a lot, creating that space, but what I find is that when we run into a problem, it's like there's all this pressure, like we have to find the solution. We have to get out of this moment. There's a lot of discomfort, and what's happening is we're being run by emotion. We're running on that hamster wheel, and just backing up, creating that space, creating essence for us to just sit for a moment with what's going on, communicate with God, allow the universe to alchemize this situation to serve our highest good. Ask for that. Put that intention out there. We're our life is very flexible in moments of chaos and stagnancy, resistance, because it is like ultimately a test. And the more that you're able to trust yourself to make conscious progress, to love yourself anyway, to not beat yourself up or pressure yourself to make a right decision, the more you're going to grow, the more you're going to enjoy life, the more you're going to be present fully. A beautiful analogy that I found in nature. There's countless ones, and it's so important to find one that speaks to you. No matter what you're going through in life, you can always find a connection to nature, and that's the universe's way of communicating with our human self. This is natural. It's okay. Don't carry around this pain. Let it ride out. The analogy is the growth of a flower. Once a flower starts growing, it takes this bulb like shape where the leaves are wrapped up. You can't see any color, you can't see any unique shape. A lot of flowers take this bulb shape and they all look the same. And this represents our problem in life. And with time and patience and acceptance, surrender to the process, that bulb grows into a beautiful, colorful flower with a unique shape, unique petals, all that good stuff. It takes its fullest form. That represents our solution, the wisdom. the knowledge, that good, juicy information that lies within our stagnancy, our resistance. And that is ever truth. We, when you find yourself moaning about your problem or feeding into the stagnancy, just remind yourself this is the process. This is a process. It's not just kind of like a one-dimensional experience. It is endless growth, endless expansion, and kind of like how you have to mine for gold. If you're always moping about the dirty coal that's surrounding, and that didn't really make sense. But just the juice that lies in resistance, in blockages, in problems, whatever you like to call it, they're all united front. There is such juice and wisdom and depth in them that we forget about it because we get so caught up in the fact that we're facing resistance. Resistance is part of the process. It's part of natural life. It's part of the frequency of that is life. And the more comfortable you get with running into blockages, the more you're going to get to know how you best maneuver through them. Everyone has their own unique path, so everyone's going to have their own unique process and desires in that time for themselves. Whether you want to be alone, you want to really talk about it with people, and it's going to be different every time. It's so beautiful though that we can come together and like talk about the fact that yeah, this happens to us in life. Like we all run into walls, we all like are in such nice flow, and then all of a sudden bam, like everything stops. It feels like it really can feel so dark and gloomy and directionless. But being trusting in that moment, being peaceful in that moment, that is where true elevation happens, and you are capable of it. You can create that space for yourself to be safe, to not feel pressure, to not have to have an answer, but to be a willing passenger on the wave of life, and to react, to respond instead of react, to respond uniquely to the given situation, and not create this memorized and robotic pattern that keeps you trapped in your own isolation and separateness. I'm gonna check my notes and see if there was anything else that, but I think I got everything. I love making these videos and I love being able to share these divine messages. And thank you just again for being here. And yeah, this one, just that there is no separation between a problem and a solution. There's no true separation between the beginning and the end. We fool ourselves into thinking there's separation, and that just prolongs the flow process. This too shall pass. No matter where you are in life, what you're experiencing, this too shall pass. It will pass. What our choice is, are we going to be conscious and be there for ourselves through this experience? Are we going to go into unconscious autopilot and just go along with a memorized pattern that we know is not serving our own good? Remembering that this too shall pass empowers you to choose to be there fully, to flow through the emotion. Let that energy move through you without associating with it, without identifying with it. Identify with the highest version of yourself that you can comprehend. From there, you can return to that point when you feel like the pain is unbearable. You can view it from a higher viewpoint. Finding what that looks like for you, that will make all the difference in your life because you know that you can go there at any time, get guidance, get energy, get clarity, even if it's the smallest little bit. I don't even like that I said that because any bit is worthy. Any bit is massive because when we're in those dark places, when we're maneuvering that density, Any little spark is enough to ignite an endless flame within us. And that is all we need, is to just continually find that hope, that trust, that little spark within, because this too shall pass. And with that being said, we will be fed and recycled the same lessons, the same knowledge, the same wisdom until we absorb it, until we consciously choose to integrate that juicy energy into our vessel, our being, our psyche, because it's of service to our higher good. We're able to alchemize, and we're so supported in that process. And it's time that we fully support ourselves every single moment, no matter what the situation is, finding that inner strength. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this video. It really felt like this resonates with right now, as Happy New Year, by the way. Um, that we can maneuver this year without having to label things as problems, even. That we become so familiar with this process of fluctuation that we flow so smoothly and so magnificently. And we're just absorbing, growing, flowing, evolving. That is my deepest wish for you. Wishing you a year of abundance, love, massive expansion, and deeper and deeper connection to your higher self. I wish for that to manifest beautifully in your life, and for you to attract exactly what you need, exactly who you need, and when you need it, yet also having that beautiful disidentification and non attachment as you move through this life. Thank you for viewing the video again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would love to hear from you if something resonated. If not, wishing you a beautiful year, and I will see you on the next video, loves.